Nej, det er fint. Jeg kan læse op et bog. Boom. I'm Solveig, and I'm Director of Branding and Outbound Marketing at Asetek. We started in the basement of Andre in Brønderslev. He invented a way to do cooling of computers better.
I was more of a hardware freak, so my mission in life became to figure out what was the most hardcore cooler that I could ever invent.
The energy from the early days when we innovated and we found things that worked well and we talked to the end users and all that. And it went really, really well, so we became a producer of products that are really good but not very well known in the community. The branding effort is part of us trying to find back to our roots, to combine the focus we still have on quality and the nerdiness, which we never lost, the innovation and this focus of how can we make this little thing work better, and combining it with the energy we had from the early days. And we're looking forward to what we're going to do in the future, which includes things like this, videos and websites and new products, and yay.
We want to basically introduce you to all the things that goes on behind the scenes here at Asetek. It could be how we test our tubes with flame testing, or we might even show you a part of our R&D process, how we develop new products. How do we decide what is important for a customer? How do we make successful products? What do we do to optimize our current products? And also, obviously, I do streaming, for instance, with my colleague in the US. We want to show you behind the scenes, how do we do our streaming? How do we do weird experiments? How do we basically make the things that happen here at Asetek? Both our data center stuff, which is super awesome and very green, and obviously, which is my personal favorite, the gaming part. So how do we get RGB and crazy effects and better performance for all the enthusiasts and gamers around the world? Behind me here is an example of how some of the hardware that we get sent from guys like Intel and AMD, EVGA I think is here as well. Pretty well represented, one of our customers. So some of that could be, for instance, when we look at new platforms such as the Intel platform over here, which is their overclockable Xeons, where we actually worked with Intel to do a custom liquid cooling solution for it. And then EVGA was nice enough to supply us with an absolute extremely crazy motherboard that we tinker around with. It actually has liquid cooling on the VRM, which is basically unheard of. We also do 3D printers as a company project. So if you're, for instance, an engineer here, we have this thing called Thursday projects, where we decide every few months, we decide on a project. Last time it was 3D printers, so we can see, I think there's one over here. This one obviously isn't finished, but everyone basically meets every Thursday and decide on a project. This time it was 3D printers, so they've built 3D printers from scratch, buying all the materials and assembling them ourselves, even writing the software as well. And obviously, being a liquid cooling company, we needed to liquid cool it, so we actually liquid cooled a 3D printer. And this is the result for now. I think a lot of people have actually taken theirs home and started printing on them. We use them for prototypes as well, which is super awesome. We can make huge 3D prototypes quickly and easily with our own printers. So I'm not a part of this, but from what I know, the liquid cooling is actually on the injector. So when you mold the plastic, that is supposedly where it cools it, and then there's an additional fan that cools it once it's been laid. And then this liquid, which is actually the same that we use in our AIOs, so it can handle mixed metals. And then this piece of coil up here is actually what removes the heat from the liquid, so you continuously have cool or cooler liquid. And there's a little fan here as well that just helps aid the airflow over it. This is obviously not very advanced, but there's not a lot of heat in there, so you don't really need a whole lot. And this is our engineering department, so this is where all the engineers who do all the drawings and the basic stuff that's needed for all our different products are sitting doing all their development. As you can see around here, very focused guys with everything from radiators to pumps and anything you can imagine basically that goes into our products. And now we're heading into our production facilities and storage as well. So this is basically where we make all of the different racks that we do for data center. All of that is produced locally here in Denmark. We have internal quality testing, racks that are ready to be shipped out, for instance, and all the various parts are obviously around here in storage, and then it's assembled manually here. So we made our own Fangirls that we can laser cut out here as well. Basically what we do is we take a raw piece of aluminum and then design it in a CAD software, and then we put it in here, and it can make like one in, I don't know, 10-15 seconds. So we're gonna try that now. Men det jeg synes er mest imponerende, det er, hvor den kører den her. And this is our esports academy. So this is where we basically give our employees and local kids the chance to basically be the best esports star that they can become. What we did is we equipped the entire room with high-end Alienware machines, as that's where we deliver liquid cooling, for instance. We have race sims, we have first-person shooter rigs, and we have this lounge area as well where people can go over tactics and basically just hang out. We have Counter-Strike teams, we actually have League of Legends teams as well. They practice out here. We just hired a coach as well that can help both our League of Legends teams as well as our CSGO teams. And actually the League of Legends team made it all the way to the World Finals in Korea just a few years ago. Yeah, we try to support as many of the local teams as we possibly can, not with incentives such as money, but rather we want to help them become better players, make sure that they have a coach, we make sure that they have the best way to become better, so we help them with physical training and we help them with their diets and stuff to make sure that they are actually the best players that they can be. Obviously we're gamers and we're enthusiasts out here at Asetek, so we love to play games, we love to tinker, and also it's a great way for us to give back to a community which helped us become the company that we are today.